Our first station on the Via Dolorosa. Jesus is condemned to death. Matthew 27:15-26. Now, at the festival, the Roman governor was accustomed to release a prisoner for the crowd, anyone whom they wanted. At that time, they had a notorious prisoner called Jesus Barabbas. So after they had gathered, Pilate said to them, "Whom do you want me to release for you, Jesus Barabbas or Jesus who is called the Messiah?" For he realized that it was out of jealousy that they had handed him over. While he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent word to him, "Have nothing to do with that innocent man, for today I have suffered a great deal because of a dream about him." Now the chief priests and the elders persuaded the crowds to ask for Barabbas and to have Jesus killed. The governor again said to them, "Which of the two do you want me to release for you?" And they said, "Barabbas." Pilate said to them, "Then what should I do with Jesus who is called the Messiah?" All of them said, "Let him be crucified." Then he asked, "Why? What evil has he done?" But they shouted all the more, "Let him be crucified." So when Pilate saw that he could do nothing, but rather that a riot was beginning, he took some water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, "I am innocent of this man's blood. See to it yourselves." Then the people as a whole answered, "His blood be on us and on our children." So he released Barabbas for them. And after flogging Jesus, he handed him over to be crucified. We live in a world of blame culture. Everything bad has to be somebody's fault. We, at least in the West, need to allocate responsibility and seek a scapegoat. Here, as we consider the role that each person or group played in the condemnation of Jesus, we might think afresh about the idea of blame and seek to see the hand of God in these historic events, horrific as they are. So many people these days have so little awareness of the story of Jesus, even that he lived on earth, let alone the story of his passion and death. We could try to lay blame for that, but let's not. Rather, let us consider the willingness of some to stop this condemnation. Pilate's wife warning him not to get involved. Jesus himself accepting the title King of the Jews, but not seeking to defend himself further. Pilate trying to act justly, knowing the innocence of Jesus, and seeking to persuade the religious leaders and the crowd. But eventually he too passed the blame onto the Jewish people. We know from history the dire consequences of that in the 20th century. Our Christian faith reminds us that it was actually part of God's redeeming story, a puzzling but necessary step in our salvation. It is part of the love affair that Almighty God has with human beings, that he does not condemn, but welcome all who turn to him. May we be slow to condemn and quick to love as Jesus was.